play in America 15, 20 years ago. Our dream was also to play in Russia. We never thought that we had to have a possibility once to play in Russia because the political situation was very bad. And when we played 1986, we played a Monster of Rock in Europe, and we also did one show in Hungary. And the promoter, we dinner with the promoter, and we talked about East and West, and we said, oh man, to play in Russia would be very good. He said, oh, look, they have a new person called Gorbachev, and I think it's a possibility that Scorpions can play there because they are very famous. And I think it's no problem. When your album is finished, because we was working on Savage Amusement, we can do something. You know, we was finished with Savage Amusement, and we scheduled our world tour. And what our plan was, let's start in Russia. We was supposed to play 5 shows in Moscow, 5 shows in Leningrad, but there was only one problem. Shortly before we was on the way to Russia, they cancelled the 5 shows in Moscow because they had problems. They found out that we are very popular, and they are afraid before the 1st of May parade that they're getting in trouble because of many people that want to see Scorpions in Moscow. And Moscow is a very hard-handled place when it comes to rock shows or to shows, because there are too many different kind of people living in Moscow. And they offered us the possibility to play 10 shows in Leningrad. And we said, okay, before we blow the whole thing, let's go to Leningrad. We did 10 shows, and it was fantastic. Every night, 15,000 people. They came from Moscow, they came from Siberia, everywhere. And for us, it was very good, because also you show the Russians, yet the Germans, after this many years coming back, but not with tanks, coming back with guitars and playing music. And that was a good point. We get a very warm welcome, and we found out that the young kids in Russia now, they are thinking about the world and their part in the world completely different than the people before. And we found out that we have we had a good time. We made friends. Gorky Park, the band, good friends of us now, and we found out that music is an international language which can cross borders and can bring kids from East and West closer together. So when we went to the second time there, it was already for us, we felt like, hey, what's happening? We are back here again. And we saw that it changed a lot in 1 year already. You know, we played this music peace festival with all the other bands, Motley Crue, Bon Jovi, Gorky Park was there, and some other bands, and Cinderella, Ozzy Osbourne. And when I remember the first day we arrived there, it was very easy. We had no problem to go into the country. Even when you go to America, you have to wait, you fill your stuff out, and people looking in your case, oh, you have something with you, you know. There, nothing. We gave our passport, our luggage was already brought to the hotel. We did a kind of press conference, so, and then to the hotel. Hotel schedule was, let's go to the Gorky Park Center. It's a big center from Saznamin, where all the Russian bands are rehearsing. They have video studios there. They have a big theater there for rock concerts and stuff. And let's go to this Gorky Park Center by boat from hotel on the Moskva to the center, because Hard Rock Cafe was setting up a big tent for the barbecue. So, and then all the bands, German band, English, American, Russian, and Russian people and stuff, we went on one boat on the Moskva to this Gorky Park Center, to the Hard Rock Cafe barbecue.
Out of all the tours you've done, what was the favorite tour you've
The favorite tour? Oh, there's many, you know. I mean, I loved obviously playing in Brazil and South America, mainly because of the weather and the woman. But otherwise, we love America because this is real rock and roll. This is the country where rock and roll was made. Plus, the audience is really crazy here. And as you can see, we tour all the time. So if you don't love it, you wouldn't do that, would you?
Going back to the Berlin Wall show, when that all came down, you guys had heard, and like everybody was, a couple of you were in Paris, right? At that time when you heard the wall was coming down, the show was happening and all that. How did you get involved, and once you were there, what was the whole situation? How did you feel about that?
I felt very emotional about it, and everybody in Germany was in tears of joy, you know, because we never expected that the war could come down, you know, and the East German government we had 40 years of East Germany, you know, being the own state, and they just said the war will not come down the next 100 years. So, but then a couple months later the war came down, and that was a very emotional thing. And then we were in the studio in Holland after we went back to Holland to finish the album there. And that was when Roger Waters called us and said, I'm doing this event in Berlin at the Potsdamer Platz, right in the death zone between East and West, or where the former death zone was. And we, of course, said yes because we were the only German band to participate, and it was a great chance for us, or a great opportunity to give a statement, you know, that you have to change things, you know, you have to go out and make things happen, otherwise nothing happens.
So you're standing there on that stage, and I'm sure you were up a bit so you could look down, you could see the wall, you could see the people, you could see the soldiers. What was racing through your mind?
It was a bit, I was a bit afraid, and the atmosphere was a bit strange. We had Russian soldiers and Americans, English and German policemen with East German uniforms, policemen with West German uniforms. It was a very, very strange feeling.
All these people from the different kind of countries, Russian and sitting together, the atmosphere was kind of sunset, fantastic. Then Klaus came up with the idea to write a song about it, and that's the reason we have a song now called Wind of Change. This song came out of this experience, being on a boat with all these people and going to Moscow, and you know, feeling now I think it's a possibility that things can change. So, and the two concerts we did in Moscow was fantastic because I mean, for us, it was the second time there. We know already what's happening. Still Loving You was a kind of peace hymn for the people. We played there. When we played Still Loving You, the whole stadium was singing the song because Still Loving You is, I think, is the most popular song in Russia from Western rock music, and they know each word. Even maybe they're singing it because they even don't know what it means, you know. But it was fantastic, and then the Olympic fire was on, and it was great. And I mean, of course, it's very sad. Now, then we played on the Berlin Wall, and you know, this kind of thing is interesting to see. We see things growing up, and you see that the political situation is changing. The wall fall down. We played on the wall. Roger Waters' wall was amazing also. So then, after this positive thing, something else terrible comes up, you know, and that's always the problem, that we live in polarity. That means you're looking for your families, and you see sometimes even your family can't live in peace. There are trouble, fights, something like this, you know. How you can expect that the world lives in peace? Because the problem is polarity always, you know. And then sometimes anyway you believe in the best, and then you come to the situation you see there in the Far East, things coming up terrible, you know. That's after a great happening, you get this a little bit depressed by seeing somebody who is a little bit crazy building up another bad thing. But anyway, the whole, for us, Scorpion, especially for the German band, was very good to do this kind of things.
You find it in terms of when you're out there, I saw those kids didn't sing to anyone else except Still Loving You, and I was proof to that. I saw that with my own eyes. Yeah. And I was wondering, you've been every single place in the world. You've played to every kid of every color, race, creed, size, everything. Did you find that any one special place was different than another? Are kids all around the world virtually the same?
Yeah, I mean, it's different. Some points hits you more.
Are you on a plane or on a bus?
We're on the bus at the moment.
You have bunks and all that.
Yeah, I actually prefer that. We used to fly, and you know, you waste all your day getting to the airport, checking in, and you know, flying, and then the same thing. And all you see is basically airports, limousines, hotels, and the venue. So if we now do some overnighters, like if we've done like 10 years ago, it is actually much better because you arrive in the morning and then you have all day. So if the sun comes out, I will work on that suntan again. So then I have the opportunity. And you go, not only that you travel from city to city every day on the road, you meet people, and that makes it different every day anyway, you know, because there's a different atmosphere. It's like you have to somehow sense what it's like this time. We are in San Francisco now, in Oakland, and we've been here many, many times, but each time we come around it is different, obviously. You know, times change, people have changed, we've changed a little bit, and that makes it interesting. So touring is definitely the best part of all of this, you know. That's the life part.
When I first time came to America, it was unbelievable. We played in Cleveland, a big festival. We had to open it. First show we did in America, Cleveland, 1979. We had to start in the morning around 10 o'clock. Also on the bill was AC/DC, Thin Lizzy, Journey, Aerosmith, Ted Nugent. And we was the first band, was allowed to play 30 minutes.
Oh.
And we loved it so much, we played, and we didn't stop. And all the management in this day is David Krabs, and everybody was, what we do now? We unplug them, that we don't have no electricity, or what we doing? I gave a sign to us. We said, what are they talking about? You know. Anyway, we played there over 40 minutes, and they said, okay, this crazy Germans, you know. But anyway, that was a very emotional thing for me, you know. Something same like when we played in Bangkok. I remember the best time we played Holiday in Bangkok. That was unbelievable. So also a special moment where the people, maybe because it was a very, very big hit in this area, the people was unbelievable, you know. Same with Russia, or same with I don't know, Rock in Rio. You know, you have some things. Of course, the people are different, but emotional are from everybody the same. You know, it's a question. It's a day right. If the audience right, if the atmosphere right, then you have everything. You get everything. You can't say because of the people who's talking different languages. Okay, sometimes in Paris, when we played, I remember in Paris we recorded for our Worldwide Live. Was amazing tour. You know, sometimes you have some magic moments. You know, but it's not important which country it is. It's important how the moment comes together. You know.
In Brazil, what album was that?
That was not a real tour. That was the Monsters of Rock tour there. You know, with Queen and AC/DC and Ozzy and us and Rod Stewart. You know, at the time, which was 1985 in January. But for touring, you know, I would definitely say America.
How was it playing with Queen? Do you remember that?
We didn't see them because every day was a different act as a headliner on, you know. Right. And that the festival took about 10 days long. And one of those days it was us, one of the other days it was AC/DC, one other day it was Queen, you know. That's how it worked.
America is 100% the home of rock and roll. You know, when you come here to the United States, it's in Europe the people going to the concert to see the concert. The people here in America come to the concert to have a party. That's the difference. A concert can be great too, because but a party can be great. You know, it's a question how things come together.
How do you still find such highs out of things? I mean, you've come and gone through places a million times. How do you still find such highs? I
mean, important is first, every place, every city has his special feel. You're going, when I come to the town today, okay, today is rainy, it's different like when you come here when the sun is shining. But the atmosphere of the city, then you come into the hall, the atmosphere of the hall. Then the people come in, the atmosphere of the people. And when you play Hurricane, I can play Hurricane in 10 different cities, but I play Hurricane always the same, even when I play the same notes, because the reaction of the audience. I speak the same language now to you, but I speak to the other person different than I speak to you. That means if you are open to the audience, you every day is different. And that's important. Many of the musicians, they're building their own circle as a band, and they're, oh, come, let's play it. But they're not open to the audience. You have to be open to the audience to catch the vibe, put it into your music, give it back. And then you have a kind of conversation, which is not talking to each other, it's giving balls to each other. I give a
Tossing
ball, you back. And that's what a good concert is all about.
Would you actually say it's like a secret to the Scorpions' success?
Maybe, because we are always was open for our audience. We was open always, and we went out on stage as a band, as a gang. And you know, this togetherness is a very important point first. how you can do a party, you're doing a party, and how you can do the party when everybody comes in and you sit in the corner and said, I did so many parties, you know, help yourself, here, there's a drink, okay? You have to do something to bring the people together, to let the whole thing rolling. Hey, you want a drink? Come on, here, how are you? And, you know, this way, then something comes and the party can be successful.
Get everything together.